We live? Should be. Let's see here. Want to make sure I got this right. Need to double click this. Okay, cool. We got that. Let's go back here. What's up, guys? Wanted to do a relatively quick stream talking about a few things. But most importantly, this Deadpool drop that's happening here. Right now, pretty much. Bobby Green, please tell me you have some inside info on all of these Marvel Mighty Madness. There's got to be something going on. Because Marvel's making a very concerted effort to have a lot of FAs be in the Marvel Mighty like categories. So gamification, who knows? I have no idea. Maybe Marvel just doesn't I'm sure they do understand the importance of FA. I mean, look at the comics, look at the like mostly the comics, right? Like I would assume they understand the importance of it. So I don't think they're just like willingly or just knowingly throwing away FAs. Who knows? Not entirely sure. Maybe it's just a marketing ploy to push more Funko Pops. Who knows at the end of the day? I have no idea. Vintage Hot Rod. There's already a Medium article with all the details. Lol. Then you don't have to watch then. Actually, I need to copy and paste this so you guys can see the heck I'm doing. There we go. There's Bobby Green. There's already a Medium article with all the details. Yes, there is. Agreed. In general, no tunneling, not only this drop. Okay, in general, not only this drop. Yeah, I think could be gamification. Hell if I know. I have no idea. I mean, I've made plenty of arguments for Marvel Mighties, you know, for and against them. You know, we have no idea what kind of, if there's going to be gamification, but if there is, they're definitely setting it up right. Like the very like cartoony look, that kind of like ageless, stylistic, like cartoony look. I don't know how else to explain it, but like when you look at games like Fortnite and all that stuff, like they have that same look, like Minecraft, stuff like that. Like they don't have the best graphics, but it's just those graphics that just look good or look good enough, whether it's, you know, 2 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, like those graphics still kind of hold up. But when you look at games that always try to have like the most cutting edge tech or like looks and stuff like that, it kind of doesn't age too well for the most part. So it's that boy Keo. It's been a while since I've seen you, dude. What's up, dude? By the way, I still haven't done it. I will do it at some point today, if not tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me is just shot. I'm gonna be hanging out with friends pretty much all day. But those are the emotes if you guys want to become a member. And there's also going to be more member benefits later as I kind of figure out more stuff that I want to do with you guys. Because I want to make sure you guys are rewarded for becoming a member and doing cool shit. So we'll go ahead and jump into it. At first I was going to talk about some Boodle NFT stuff. But just kind of as a reference, this is almost identical. This Veve drop, the Marvel Mighties of Deadpool, is almost identical to Spider-Man. There's 6 drops each. Or 6 drops each. There's 6 drops of each, the Spider-Man as well as the Deadpool. There's 2 commons here. I did call the that the Deadpool and was it Lady Deadpool? Yeah, Lady Deadpool would both be the commons. I felt like that was going to be pretty obvious. Mint numbers are much lower. Not that much lower, but they are much lower than the Spider-Man counterparts. So the Spider-Man had 14,999, so basically 14,000. So this actually has 2,000 mints less than Spider-Man, as well as 2,000 mints less to Ghost Spider for the most part. I actually kind of want to do this just so I can switch back and forth between these two very easily. Just bear with me, guys. I didn't screw anything up, right? Okay, cool. That way I can kind of just switch between these two pretty easily. This one, X-Men Deadpool. So a lot of people thought it would either be the gray outfit Deadpool or it would be the Deadpool. I've seen the kid Deadpool with like 2 lightsabers and stuff like that. Not entirely sure why they didn't do that, but I guess this is the X-Men Deadpool that they hinted in the emoji. This one has 7,777 editions. So how does that compare to the rare or the uncommon? 8,888. So okay, so it seems like there's no real I mean, it's 1,000 mints less, but I guess the 888, the number doesn't really mean anything. How many boxes are you going for on Sunday Vibes? I might just go for as many as I can. To be quite honest, There's a handful of Marvel Mighties that are below box price right now. It's mostly the Eternals, as well as I think like Mr. Fantastic. The Thing is getting pretty close to below box price. I do think in this market, I just don't picture Deadpool himself going below box, so he'll probably get close. I haven't really sussed out my exact like price predictions for these. I could probably see Lady Deadpool going below box, or if there is any below box. I guess I don't want to say any that are going to go below the actual list price, but the cheapest one I think of all of them will be Lady Deadpool. The next cheapest will probably be so this is uncommon. So this one does not have FA. Lady Deadpool is FA, and just double checking. Yeah, this shouldn't be FA. This is Zombie Deadpool, 5,666. So how much is that in compared to the rare? So the rare is 5,555. So what's up with the 666 on this? I guess it's just, don't know why they had the 666 at the end. Maybe just because he's dead. He's like undead, devil. I know 666 usually means evil, so I'm not exactly sure how that works. In the actual like comic book, I guess, Deadpool core, the zombie is actually just a floating head. So I'm not sure how they would have animated that. Like if you look at this picture, it's just a floating head, which looks silly because it has like a helicopter propeller thing, and that's how he like gets around. So I always thought that was kind of funny, but I guess in the Marvel Mighty version, they actually want to give him a body so he can do something. Maybe so he can actually fight. Who knows? Not entirely sure. But so that is the Deadpool. So this mint is almost identical. It's actually higher than the rare counterpart to Black Cat. Ultra rare though, 333,000 mints. I feel like this is gonna be, wow, that's even less. That's actually not super significantly less, but this is almost the same mint as the secret rare of the Spider-Man. 3,777. And this is the dog. And the duck is 1983, which I believe that is the year that New Mutants in general came out. I don't know if that's when I'm not sure if that's when Deadpool first arrived. That's like the FA year of Deadpool, or is that the FA year of like the New Mutants comic in general? Not entirely sure. But it is his first appearance for the duck as well as the dog. Dogpool. And then Deadpool, Deadpool the duck. I thought it would be cool if it was just Duckpool, but it is what it is. At 13 gems, it's well worth going for as many as possible. I think so too. The number 8 is believed to have the luckiest number in China because 8 is associated with wealth. A lot of the collectibles end in 888 a lot. Interesting. Okay. And I guess it's kind of the opposite here, where you have the undead guy where it's like maybe 666 is bad luck or it's evil or whatever it is. And that's the first appearance as well. Wolf of Veve Street, big fan. Keep up the great work with the content. Of course, dude. Awesome. I appreciate that. I do want to make a video at some point kind of giving a shout out to the newer content creators such as yourself, Wolf of Veve Street, as well as Cryptos with Taco, and I think there was one other content creator I kind of wanted to just give a brief shout out to. Honestly, as long as you guys are just consistent, right? That is the main thing, and that's something even I struggle with at times, is like just consistently making content. I know it can kind of be hard to figure out what content to talk about. For the most part, I really apologize if there's someone like doing yard work outside, if you guys can hear that. Can you guys hear that outside? I mean, I can hear it pretty clear, but let me know if you guys can. I can fix it for you, because yeah, the secret rare for this is 1983, and the secret rare for 2099 is obviously 2099. So Daniel Marquez, hey Vibes, what's up? It's because that's David Yu's favorite number. Okay. FA dog and duck on Veve, let's go. No, nope, can't hear it. Okay, good. Just wanted to make sure. So yeah, I mean, the mint numbers on these are lower, and I'm glad they did, because that's something I did say. I'm like, some of these could go well, like really close to box price, and I think they might, just because we have an absurd amount of speculation and kind of small pieces of evidence that like we're gonna get more Star Wars. It's gonna be around the 24th, 25th, 26th, probably all the way up until the end of May. So not entirely sure how this is all gonna play out. I do think this is gonna react very differently compared to the other Marvel Mighties, because all the other Marvel Mighties happened during the either before the pump, like the Eternals, or during the pump, or during the dump, like all the other Marvel Mighties and stuff like that. So I think this is going to react very differently compared to what other people believe. I do think Deadpool is going to perform similarly to like what Spider-Man did. Like, okay, it's like, it's not the FA, but it's still Spider-Man. And if there is any kind of thing that Marvel's going to do with the Marvel Mighties, gamification, whatever it is, the people still want Spider-Man. There's no really like villain with this one. So I think that's another interesting thing about this Marvel Mighties is like there's no villain per se, but I want that dog so badly. It's so cute. Yeah. The dog is pretty cute. I don't know what it would, does it have any like weaponry? I guess it just bites. Same thing with the zombie Deadpool. Like the zombie Deadpool from the comic, it just like bites. Let me actually look at it again. Deadpool versus, I almost put Z Deadpool. So this is, let's see if I can find it. Oof, okay, it's like taking me to like a listing on Etsy or something weird like that. I think this works. And this is, I know it's hard to see, so I gotta like blow it up and zoom in. So that's Wolverine. This is like a battle statue, arguably. Wolverine stabbing Deadpool, you know, in the gut. And there's zombie Deadpool biting his calf, biting Wolverine's calf. So like that's the whole thing about Deadpool, or like zombie Deadpool, is that he has no body. He's not supposed to. And I think there's supposed to be the dog on this statue too. I'm not entirely sure. I could have sworn this statue had the dog as well. Maybe it didn't. Okay, maybe it doesn't. And there's definitely like different variations of that battle statue or whatever. So I thought that was kind of funny. So dang, that would be dope. Community's amazing. Y'all are too nice. Yeah, of course. Got to help each other out, and especially right now, honestly, with Veve just being in a very bear market, a lot of people have just kind of checked out. I mean, you can ask any content creator. And it's just speculative marketing in general, right? Stocks, crypto, NFTs, it doesn't matter. Viewership, income, ad revenue, like all that stuff has just been down. So it just is what it is. Does anyone know how to stake the Golden Lotus? How to stake the Golden Lotus dragon? No idea. Didn't even know that was a thing, or like how to stake it. Rough. Yeah, the dog is pretty cute. Zombie's cool. And then X-Men Deadpool I think is not going to perform that well, to be quite honest. I don't know the exact prices, and I'm sure I'll come up with one towards, you know, in the next few minutes of the stream. But if I had to go from cheapest to most expensive, cheapest would be Lady Deadpool because the mint numbers and, you know, whatever. Then maybe X-Men Deadpool. Actually, I think X-Men Deadpool might be the cheapest, even though there's a pretty significant drop off of mints, like literally half. It's going to be really close between X-Men Deadpool and Lady Deadpool. Those are going to be the two cheapest, followed by normal Deadpool, then zombie, then dog, then secret rare. I think that's pretty obvious. Now, price prediction for the Duck Deadpool? I really don't know. I feel like it's kind of more of just a meme or like a niche thing. It's like, I think a lot of people are gonna get the dog just because it's cute and stuff, but it's like, you have to be a Deadpool fan, and on top of that, you have to like willing to spend money and understand and appreciate like the extended Deadpool universe stuff. I feel like if you're a Deadpool fan, like you're totally on board with all this, but doing price predictions for these, I couldn't tell you. But I mean, if you do get the secret rare, like, yeah, you're gonna get a nice premium for it. If I had to throw a number out there for like this, the secret rare, 250, probably cheaper, probably 200, anywhere between 180 to 200 for the secret rare. I think this is mostly because there will be a period of time where it'll like probably push 250 just because I've noticed that the higher end stuff, like the secret rare and ultra rare, if people are just going to want the set, and so these are typically go up in price because there's less of them on the market. So this could probably push like 250 for a brief period of time, but then it'll go back down, and the second week even get a Star Wars announcement, which is another thing. Like, it's kind of, this whole drop is happening dangerously close to like a Star Wars announcement, because Veve gives what, a 48-hour notice before something drops. So this is happening on the 22nd, because today is what, the 20th. The 22nd is this drop, and there could be a Star Wars a drop on the 24th or the 25th. So it's like, just be prepared that if you buy these, or if you whatever, literally the next day or the next 2 days, there's going to be likely a Star Wars drop. So just kind of keep a heads up for that. And if that's the case, I could probably see the secret rare going down to like post Star Wars announcement, like 110. I don't know. The dog will probably go for around a hundo, probably around 100 shortly after the drop. Probably go up to 125, 130, like while people are trying to just grab all the collectibles to finish the set. And then zombie will be, geez, I don't even know. Zombie will probably be closer to 40. Maybe I should just cut all these prices in half, because I forgot that this is not like your typical 50 mint box price thing, right? Or your 50 gem box price. So like, yeah, maybe this is like 125 to start, 150, and this is like 70 to 80. This is like 30. And this are probably like 15, 20, and this will probably go for 20. I don't know, that might be too optimistic, so I'm just kind of curious how that's going. I think literally the undetermined variable of all of this over the last 20 days has just been Star Wars. Like, Star Wars is just kind of throwing a huge wrench into everything. Randy posted about how to do it. I forgot the person who's leading it. Oh, staking Golden Lotus dragons. Didn't even know that was a thing. 130 gems for the SR. Okay, yeah, Richard, that's kind of what I determined after. I was like, I should probably go much lower. I forgot these aren't like your 50 gem box price things. These are like 13. So people are much more willing to dump these because you have a larger margin of profit, right? So I think the duck could go closer to 100, like 110, 50, 30. 15 to 20, 15 to 20, and this is 20. So yeah, I've kind of adjusted I know I've adjusted it like 2 or 3 times, but you just don't underestimate Star Wars. Comment, if we all came together, we would make some nice profits, but right now Veve, i.e. winning the gold against 99.9% of us, and their favorite whales are taken care of by Veve. So what do you mean? Came together, we would make some nice profits, but right now Veve is... Right now, Veve, i.e. winning. Duck Deadpool versus Deadbeat Ducks? I think so too. I think the Deadpool duck would probably win, but the Deadbeat Ducks do look pretty cool as well. I bet Duck will go for a 150. That's what I'm thinking too. I think it could get up to 150 while people are just scrambling to like complete the set and buy. Like, you see it all the time with just secret rare comics as well as secret rare collectibles and stuff. Like, they'll kind of just innately just pump. People are like, all right, I just want to buy the secret rare while I can. So it might go up a bit, but I think it's actually going to settle around 100. And then it's going to get cheaper, obviously, within the next day or two of an announcement. I would like to have this set for MCP points also. Exactly, right? So people that are going to be buying multiples of these, they're going to be trying to grab the ultra rare and secret rare if they don't have it, which means obviously the price is going to go up. I do think initially people are going to floor these for like below box price or around box price, like immediately, like that first 3. But it'll go up a bit. Issue with content creators like Veve Vault is these low price predictions talking about going under box. People listen to you guys and they auto sell below box. I don't know about that. Like, I mean, you have to take into consideration too, like, how many views are these videos even getting, right? If there's genuinely 600,000 people or accounts that are active on the platform, I don't know how a video with, you know, 800, 1,000 views is like completely flipping the whole market on its head. I realize there's different content creators in that spectrum, but then if I'm just following what the market trends are doing, because even when I've said things are going to go up or whatever, it's like it doesn't follow that. People are going to sell. People are going to do what they want with their NFTs, right? And the fact that Star Wars is literally, I think, in my genuine opinion, 5 days away. This drop is 2 days away. I just don't see it doing that well. So I don't think, like, I'm not saying content creators play no hand at all whatsoever for box prices, but at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want. I think myself and plenty of content creators were like, oh yeah, the Star Wars SR is going to go for, you know, 800 to 1,000 at most, but, you know, it's just a comic and it's going to fall. Like, we're literally all wrong about the Star Wars comics. So it actually went higher than a lot of people thought. So, but then again, it's like, I'm not, just to be, you know, it's not something I believe, right? I'd rather be honest than just blindly optimistic just to hope that like the price goes up based on what I say, because I really don't think I have that much sway on the market. And I think pretty much most content creators believe that, except for my collectibles. You know, when he kind of gave his whole video talking about the what if number one, what if whatever the one is with the female spider girl, that pumped quite a bit. But other than that, I don't have that kind of sway. I'm just teasing about that. We'll leave it on the dog. That's cute. Spending all my Veve money on Tesla today. Do you invest in any other markets besides NFTs? Not really. I used to do a little bit of stocks, but right now I'm mostly into just NFTs. So I'm in Bat Cowls, I'm in Hero, I'm in Veve. It's pretty much it for the most part. I do want to start accumulating some OMI. Mostly it's just like I just need more capital personally before I can start investing in OMI. Like in my mind, OMI is a very, very, very long-term investment. I mean, so are NFTs, but I think NFTs could make bigger moves in the short term than OMI right now. Recurve's doing the same thing with Veve AR camera with Hello Kitty. Veve for the win though. Agreed. Buying, yep. When are you going to see the market turnaround? I think sometime around when MTL and MCP land. MCP is going to actually encourage people to actually buy. You know, when we see MCP enabled and we get to see the rewards for being at certain tiers, I think that's going to enable people. And once Veve also starts withholding a certain amount of drops for MCP people that can stake Master Collector points, I think at that point it's going to encourage current users to buy a little bit more. Like, oh, I'm just what 10-15 points away from the next tier, I'll just buy a handful of rare comics, times that by I don't know how many hundreds or thousands of other people that are also in the same scenario. So they're going to be buying comics to hit certain tiers or collectibles or finishing sets. So I do think Master Collector program is going to help the current people on the app to like spend a little bit more money because they want those benefits or those higher tiers. And MTL is actually going to help either people that are already on the platform or on the fence about like putting a lot of money in, or people that are just kind of looking at Veve from far and be like, look, I'm not putting a single penny in until they have 100% confirmed that MTL is a thing, right? Because there could be investors out there that are willing to drop, you know, 5 to 6 figures on Veve, but they're just like, I'm not doing it until MTL is like fully fleshed out. I'm just not going to do it, because if someone's out there and they want to drop 150 grand on Veve, they're like, I'm not doing it until there's a cash out feature. Like, I'm just not doing it. So I think MTL is going to help weed out all the current people that are on the fence about Veve. You know, cash out, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter to me. I don't care what people do with their money. It's not my interest or responsibility or curiosity. But I do think it's going to get a lot of people that aren't on the app or aren't fully convicted onto the app as well. So MCP is going to help the people currently on the app, and then MTL is probably mostly going to help people off the app, but people that are on the app as well to kind of just cash out if they want. Veve content creators have minimal effect on the drop day prices. That's what I'm thinking too. At the end of the day, people are just going to sell for what they want. People are going to take profit. People have different margins of profit. So if you win let's say a dog pool, there could be a handful of people that are like, dude, I'm willing to sell this for 30 gems just to get a quick 17 gem profit, and boom, I'm just happy with that. I don't care. There's a handful of other people that are gonna be like, I'm not selling this for below 100, and then they're listing for 100, and that's it. Like, everyone's different. Price prediction wise, it's all over the place. There's also a reason why you can ask 5 different content creators price predictions, and they're literally all different. So it's just the free bearish market. If anything, Veve content creators have overestimated prices. Yeah, I think that's what I thought. Most of the time it was like that. The only time I was like, I've usually been wrong in either a certain NFT in a group or like in a drop, or sometimes you're just off. Like even us VV content creators, for a long time, it took me like a good 2 months to get my mindset like out of January, because I'm like, oh yeah, this drop will go for, you know, 400 gems, and then like in the secondary market it never touches 200. I'm like, dude, what's going on? It's everyone's selling. So, and it just right now, and I've said this multiple times before, there's just, as of right now, no reason for the market to pump. There's no catalyst, there's no meat and potatoes features to like get people to like put more money into VV, right? As of right now, until they come out with MCP and MTL, there's not a lot of reason for people to jump in or spend more that are currently on the app. Spider-Man SR was at 2K when it came out, and you have these at 100. Spider-Man SR was at 2K when it came out, and you have these at 100. At 100? I don't know what you mean. Spider-Man Secret Rare, so 2099 at 2000 when it came out, and you have these at 100. I don't know. I have to clarify that, Jason. What could you see the short-term all-time high being for Ultra Rare and Secret Rare post Star Wars? Short-term all-time high being for post Star Wars. It entirely depends. It's like literally the entire market sentiment would have to change. Like, I don't know the upper limit of, it's like, all right, is it after Star Wars but before MTL and MCP, or are we talking after all of that? I genuinely don't know. Like, I wish I could answer that question, but I couldn't even put a number to it. Comment, sorry, typo, just mean instead of running like chickens with our heads cut off, undercutting worse than the bots, giving VV more gems for our potential profits. Yeah, and that's the community sentiment. I mean, people can do what they want. I'm kind of trying to choose my words carefully. There are some content creators, I really don't care people what they do with their gems. I would say like there's a good portion of VV content creators that think like just going for every comic drop and just spam buying and then just flooring your comments for below box price immediately, or like literally half price, is dumb. Some of them think that. Then there's some other content creators that think it's worth a gamble because you might land a rare, an ultra rare, or even a secret rare. I'm in the middle. I don't care. I'm just like, all right, if this is what the community thinks is worthwhile, because right now, for the longest time on VV, there was always like marginal profit where people could actually buy something low and sell it for high, and there was margin, and that's something you could do. You could buy something for what you think is a low price and then sell it a week, 2 weeks, or a month later and make some profit. That just has not been a thing for the last 3 months, 4 months. Like, you just can't buy something low unless there's some random catalyst, or there's some like very knee-jerk announcement unless there's some announcement by VV and there's a knee-jerk like wave of hype, like look at the DeLoreans. Like, people are like, oh, DeLoreans are drivable. Like, we've heard that 2 or 3 times prior, but like it seems like almost every time VV says, oh yeah, the DeLoreans will be drivable, it's like they pump and they go down, they pump and they go down. Like, so sorry, typo. Yeah, so content, I'm just like, dude, the market's gonna do what the market wants. Like, I don't think a single idea from a VV content creator is just gonna like just all of a sudden start a huge wave of investing strategies that like no one else is gonna pick up on, or that's just gonna be mass adopted by the community. I just don't see it happening. Unless they can show irrefutable proof for like weeks on end. You know, let's say like literally secret rare gate was a thing. I know that's something that VV Vault kind of memes on, or like it's like a meme where it's like, oh, you back out when there's like 5 seconds left or 10 seconds left of the comic countdown, you go back in. If you literally got secret rares every time, like, yeah, sure, that would be a thing, but it's just not like that. And I think people have, their new strategy is just gambling. It's like, look, if there's no easily identifiable way to like invest into something and then just like wait a week or 2 weeks and all of a sudden I can sell it for profit, that just hasn't been a thing for 4 months. And what's the next best thing? You just gamble. You just gamble on drops and just hope you just get one of the higher tier things. So I love Veve, but it's a game against us. It's a game us against them for the gems. So what is it, like us versus the whales? The whales aren't the ones. If anything, whales are the ones buying the floors of us just like undercutting each other, right? It's even if me and every single content creator we're just adamantly against just gambling in the sense of like, buy as many comics and as many blind box collectibles as you can. If you get the top 3 rarities, sell for profit. If you get the bottom 2, just dump it. Even if we all made a video saying don't do this, people are still going to do it. The majority of people are still going to do it because it's just profitable. It is what it is. So if anything, whales are actually helping us by buying the floors of these like underpriced comics. But even then, like, if it's a shit comic, it's a shit comic. They'd rather just buy what's going to be profitable for them. But I don't think it's us versus whales. Whales are going to do what they want. You can either go against them or with them or be indifferent. It's really up to you at the end of the day. Spider-Man much bigger, and that was when the market was not as bearish as it is now. Exactly. Which is why I do think the prices of these will just be initially closer to the list price, especially for the 2 commons, or especially for like the common and uncommons. Hello K pumped the Golden Ducks for a bit, and it dumped right after 2 or 3 weeks. It's because there's a certain point where people just take profit, right? When things are up and like, yeah, people will do that. Like, look at, you know, I never talked to Ray Fixie or anything like that, but I'm just looking at trends. As I noticed months back, is like, whenever Ray Fixie talked about a certain, you know, independent artists are like, oh, you should buy these are super inexpensive. They typically pumped. And whether you actually believe that, or you're just trying to make profit off the hype train that is people that think that it's worth a ton more than it is, you just buy into it and you just sell at what you think is the top, right? Like at some point, people are always going to take profit. Not everyone in Veve is a 110% diehard collector and like, oh, I'm not selling this for 5 years. Like a lot of people aren't like that. MCP is going to be a bigger deal than people think. Up to the point, it depends on how much utility Veve wants to give. In my opinion, Mountain Man and Viker and Wolf of Veve Street. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. I know I'm like, some people might view me as negative. I don't care. I try to just speak my mind and what I think is happening in like the Veve community. It's going to be as big as Veve wants it to be. I mean, Veve could add a shit ton of utility to MCP and make it extremely valuable. Or it could be very baseline and like literally the only utility is like, oh yeah, by the way, you can buy 1 more ticket for every like 200 points or something crazy, where it's like, all right, is it really worth buying 15 more rare comics to get 1 more ticket a month? Like maybe, maybe not. It depends. Tony says MTL priced in. You think it's mostly priced in? I still think we're gonna see a dip with MTL, a small dip, and then followed by a hopefully a pump. Probably will reach maybe half of our all-time highs. It's like, it's, you know, Steamboat Willie right now is at like 1200. Like, don't expect Steamboat Willie to go up to like 8K. It's like, I think a lot of the collectibles aren't going to reach their all-time highs. Certain ones might. Certain ones might get pretty close. But I think the majority of them won't even get remotely close to their all-time highs. They'll get like half price, and then we'll start actually seeing some margin playing out. I don't think we're going to see all-time highs like across the board until OMI to NFT. But I'm really looking forward to MCP, Master Collector program. That guy is probably talking about pre-January prices. Maybe? I don't know. Ain't going for this drop too risky when May isn't over yet. Yeah, and that's another aspect too, right? LBM bats, like, you have to also take the current market sentiment. Who knows? Maybe legitimately 90% of the people that are going for this drop are just going to immediately dump it. Just immediately dump. Like, no one's here to hold these long term. So that could be the smarter choice, right? And these are the cost of basically 2 comics. So you're kind of burning your gems twice as fast. And I do think the same scenario could play out. It's like Deadpool, Lady Deadpool, and this X-Men Deadpool are probably, they could go below list. I don't know. But they'll be very close. I think initially there will be people that will get this and just immediately list this for 15 gems. Well, they could. It's still technically profitable, but it's just, you get like, what, a half a gem profit? It's up to them. Listen, Amanda, he has those crises because of the market. I don't think they will go anywhere near SR, Spider-Man, Marvel Mighties. I don't think so either. At least not initially. Like, in my opinion, part of the reason why like Black Panther is still like 700-ish gems is because it was like birthed during like the middle of the huge crash. And a lot of people are just hodling because they're just so far in the negative that they don't want to sell their Black Panther for a 70% loss. Though I do think Thor, in my opinion, again, my opinion, is more popular than Black Panther. But like, yet Thor, Secret Rare Thor is only at like what, $450? It's like almost half the price of Black Panther currently. But that's just because Black Panther was purchased so high. People are just holding it because they're just so deep in the red. Veve needs to get some real world utility, not buy a movie ticket and get a free NFT, but the other way around. We own Golden Moments and we get free a theme park admission that will pump this. Yeah, I would say yes and no. First off, I don't think it's up to Veve. It's up to the licensor, right? Whether they want to give real world utility. I don't think Veve is just like, cool, thanks for giving us the IP for Deadpool. We're just going to give a bunch of real world utility. It's like, where's that money going to come from? If they give free tickets to a Deadpool movie, whose profits is that going to cut into? It's not going to come to Veve's profits. It's going to come to Marvel's profits because they're apparently Veve's just giving away free tickets to a Marvel movie. It's up to the Marvel or the licensor to give out real world utility to their NFTs. Has nothing to do with Veve. Veve could come up with some ideas or like give them, you know, they could probably help them out with that, but it's like it's still up to Marvel or Disney to come up with utility. And that's the other thing too. It's like I notice a lot of the time whenever there's utility tied to an NFT and it's behind a certain event or it's like time gated, once that time or that event is done, it just gets immediately dumped on the market. Look at every independent artist that has an airdrop. Oh, buy all the serial killers, and all of a sudden there's an airdrop. Serial killers dump. The airdrop dumps. Like the utility of the serial killers is done. I bought the serial killer set because I want the airdrop. I got the airdrop. Its utility is done. I'm selling it. I'm dumping it. So I do think things that are tied to, like, let's say we got a free ticket because we bought this Deadpool Marvel Mighty. Cool. Once the ticket is done, I got my utility. Now I'm just gonna just sell Deadpool. Like seems to what happened. That's typically what happens, unless they fully say like this is gonna have reoccurring utility. Okay, maybe you hold, but who knows. Puppy and Bats, I feel like this drop is gonna be treated like a regular comic drop in the bear market. I think so too. You know, bottom 3 rarities, or I guess bottom 2 rarities, bottom 3 NFTs will probably go for very close to box price, maybe below. Who knows? And the next 3 are gonna go for above. By how much? I don't know. Henry Pies, what's up, vibes? The common will go for $7. Yeah, I think Deadpool will perform better than that, but I do think Lady Deadpool will be the cheapest, in my opinion. Oh, sorry, no, not us against the whales, us against Veve. Always against Veve. They're trying to get our gems. We are trying to make gems or some profits, but Veve could care less if we do. Well, they view it as a collector's app, right? At the end of the day. So I mean, they come up with the mint numbers. I believe the licensor, they probably negotiate on box price of the thing, but it's like Veve's opinion can only go so far. So, and I mean, you can believe whatever you want. I'd rather not think of a antagonistic relationship with Veve. It's like us versus them, and they're trying to take my gems, and I'm trying to like outdo them by getting better drops and selling it. Like I don't know how that, what the connection is with that with Veve, them like trying to take our gems. Like, what? They're not taking our gems because we are willingly putting in gems, right? You're willingly putting in money, whether you buy it through the app or off the app. Like Veve's not forcing you to put money in, so I don't know how Veve's taking your gems. And it's up to the community whether they want to sell something like Secret Rare Deadpool Duck for below box price. Like, it's not Veve screwing you over, it's the community screwing you over if you feel like you bought something and it's going for way cheaper than you thought, right? I completed the whole Mighty set an hour before this announcement. FML, yeah. Honestly, I think things are only going to get cheaper across the board. I think between now and the end of the month, and even 2 weeks into June, because I think Veve said that they're going to have some juicy drops during June as well. So we'll see. Hey, let's go. SR Duck vibes, let's go. Going to complete this set, make it 66 for sure, or for me. 250k OMI purchase, let's go. You just know that Marvel Mighties will have utility. It definitely seems that way. Like Marvel has to have some sort of idea why they're having so many of their significant FA characters be Marvel Mighties. I think I said this before, but before Deadpool, there was only one Marvel Mighty, and now with Deadpool, it's two. There's only two Marvel Mighties out of literally all of them that aren't FA. The only ones is Spider-Man and Deadpool themselves, because they already have the 3D collectible versions of them. Or Marvel is just, they really want to release these Marvel Mighties, and these are probably the easiest things to make and render versus like a 3D animated collectible. So yeah, who knows? I heard the Top Gun movie is great. Honestly, I've never seen Top Gun. I know that sounds strange, but I've honestly have never seen Top Gun. There's a lot of like, what do you call? You know, cult classic or just very popular, highly referenced movies that I've yet to see. Like, I haven't seen Godfather from like beginning to end. I haven't seen Top Gun. There's a handful of other movies that people just reference all the time and I just don't know, or I just haven't seen yet. Usually it's just out of sheer laziness, but a lot of it too, it's like I just don't care to watch it as well. I don't know. Todd the Father has like 150 Donald and Daisy. Hello K probably has more than 75 by now. And I personally have 50. I don't think anyone sold a single one. Yeah. And people could do whatever they want. I mean, I don't think we should, it's, you know, to be quite honest, it is very easy to just Photoshop like, oh, I have 60,000, you know, obviously there's not even that many. Oh, I have 6,000 Donald and Daisies. Like, you could easily Photoshop that for the most part. Like, but I really don't care what people do with their investments. If they want to flaunt it, if they want to do whatever they want, it is what it is. And if someone posts a tweet of them buying a bunch of something and the market reacts, that's on the market, not the person, in my opinion. Obviously, the community at large highly values what Dr. Prophet says or what he tweets or what he's collecting. So I think he's just sharing his info because he likes Veve as well as these characters. Recur NFT for Top Gun. Okay. Finally a good drop with good buying price. Yeah. Yeah, these, but it's funny because during the whole just like market pump, when everything was just going nuts in January, like a $50 or 50 gem drop, like back then, like literally anything and everything was profitable. You could have literally bought anything during early January, late December, and it was going to be profitable. But just the market sentiment's really down now. Can't wait for Jurassic. Dude, me too. What's your Twitter account? I believe if you just type in ! Twitter, it should pull it up for you. Looks like SR Aston is being scooped up or delisted. Probably. I put SR Aston Martin very high blue chip, I think, on my list. I believe that's what I did because it's low mint. It's probably the most iconic vehicle in the world because of the 007 movies, its popularity. Car enthusiasts know the is it the DB7 or DB8? I keep forgetting which number it is, but regardless, it's super iconic. Like it's really, really hard to beat out for iconic vehicles to beat out the James Bond 007 Aston Martin. And the insanely low mints helps it a ton as well. Godfather is my favorite movie. I've heard that too. I do need to watch it. At some point, that is one I do want to watch. Top Gun, I'm kind of like, eh. It's like, all right, Iceman, Goose, this, that, like, okay. Like, there's some references I could just pick up on, but The Godfather is so good. That show on Paramount about making the making of The Godfather is decent too. Okay. I think I have Godfather at about number 6 on my list of best movies ever. Interesting. Okay. Well, can't believe you haven't seen the classics. Love meeting people that haven't seen the greats. You have a lot of great Netflix and chill vibes for the future. I hate that I have seen everything. Yeah, there's definitely some movies I wish I could like rewatch again for the first time just because it was so good. But I'd say Lord of the Rings is probably one of them. Just like, was just nuts. But I probably have Apocalypse Now at number 5. I don't think I've seen that either. ...1979 film, Apocalypse Now. Yeah, that's the one that has the very iconic song associated with it. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, that one. I hate that Recur is biting Veve hard and copying everything Veve does is lame. I mean, you got to be different in some way, right? I mean, they have different IPs, but I really don't care what Recur does. I mean, I really wanted to get involved with the Star Trek one because I feel like that whole Star Trek thing was pretty cool. But it was like, dude, $500, and honestly, the utility of like going on missions and stuff like that, it's like I'd rather just play literally any other space game than that. Play Star Trek Online. Play. I actually heard that No Man's Sky has gotten much better now. I bought No Man's Sky when it initially came out. Huge mistake at the time. Rather play EVE Online or rather play. God, there's so many other good like space, like either MMOs or just like first person flying ones, like whatever you want to do. So any more when they're anyone okay doing the giveaways for season 3? There's no more. They're all done doing the giveaways. They already posted about it. We need bots back, LMAO. Yeah, it's just crazy, and that's the thing. The community is doing that, not anyone else. The community is the one that they're honestly undercutting each other harder than the bots ever did. It's like, at least the bots would wait for the floors to go up a bit before they listed a huge brick of listings for the same price. And that's the other thing. At least bots will list all of their stuff usually for the same price. Like people will just keep undercutting each other, like undercut. Like I'd rather have 20 listings at the same price than 20 listings that are constantly undercutting each other. So yeah, I mean, DB5, yes. I had to be dragged to go see Top Gun. I couldn't believe how good it was. Okay. Maybe I have to be that person. Maybe I have to be dragged to go see it as well. Must own if big collector, yes. Buzz Lightyear coming? As David, you tweeted about the upcoming Lightyear movie. Did he? Did he tweet about it? Did he just like it or something? Let me look at this. Oh, he did. I mean, this was 7 hours ago. Okay, so this actually happened. Oof, that is bright. Here, this is it. Yeah, David, you just said Lightyear. Moon. Could have a Buzz Lightyear. I think we could get something like a Buzz Lightyear early June. I'm trying to remember where, but I don't know if it was in one of the Veve content updates or the Veve AMAs or whatever it was, but I could have sworn Veve hinted that like, oh, we're gonna have good drops through May and into June. I think that's what they said. So wouldn't surprise me. So let's do this. Close that. Let's actually go back here. If you like crime movies, you'll love The Godfather. I think crime movies are all right. I do like crime movies. Have you seen Gladiator? Of course. Goodfellas? No, I think. I've seen Gladiator many times. That's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. Did you get invitation for the web platform? No, I did not. I asked for permission and they said I had to wait in line. I'm like, cool. Yeah, me and Rob Stuff, I guess, have not gotten access to the web platform, which is interesting. I'm out of most of the great films and even most of the great novels too. Nice. Godfather watch party on YouTube? Potentially. I don't know how that would work. I do want to do watch parties. I think that would be kind of fun, at least like if it's of the current IP or something like that, or maybe Pokemon. I wouldn't mind watching like the first episode of Pokemon. Like if they, you know, it's not if, it's when they announce Pokemon. Veve does. And like we'll watch like the first episode of like the Pokemon anime. Most people say Apocalypse Now is the best of the Nom movies. Okay. Flight of the Valkyries, that's what it is. Ride of the Valkyries, one of the two. Personal opinion, pass on Recur. I think so too. That's kind of my thought process. I think it's all right too. If the price makes sense and It's a huge IP, like maybe one that Veve doesn't even have. Maybe, but unlikely. And some great Stone songs. One anyway, at least, yeah. Deer Hunter. The Northman is pretty great. Okay. Look at all you guys slinging all these Hollywood movie classics at me. I've been holding gems for a while, debating on a few big boys like Todd and Superman, or perhaps stacking newer golden moments like Pooh and Lenticular cards. Thoughts? Looking for a high ROI by end of year. Honestly, any of those would work well. It depends. I think gem for gem, the cheaper stuff will do better because it's way easier to double, you know, it's way easier for something to triple in price to go from 100 to 300 than something to go from 2,000 to 6,000, you know, or 3,000 to 9,000 to triple. Todd has done that before. Todd has been up to 10K. Actually, Todd's been up to like 14 or 13K before. So he's done it before, but will it happen before the end of the year? I think it entirely depends on whether we get OMI to NFT by that point or not. I think that's going to be it. And I think even just the mention of like, oh yeah, OMI to NFT is happening in 2 weeks, that will cause prices to pump. And I think prices will even go higher when we get OMI to NFT as well, right? So, but depending on how many gems you have, like maybe you want to secure something like Todd now or Superman now, because eventually when they get to like, let's just say 6-7 grand, like whatever it is, like it's going to be harder to acquire them there, to acquire those because they're a higher price. But then again, I think gem for gem, like if you're just straight profit, it might be better to pick up like lenticular cards like Donald, or maybe some of the newer golden moments like Pooh. That's just my recommendation. It's not financial advice, but you can do whatever you want. I'm not a big fan of Deer Hunter, like the arcade game. I don't know. We had better prices in comics and collectibles when we had bots. True, but that's not the correlation. It's mostly just because we've been in a bearish market. I think bots played one very, very small role as to why like things were kind of getting dumped, but like bots have been gone, and so far the community has decided to not let, the community is still dumping stuff for super low prices. So just because there's a correlation, I don't think that's the causation. I think it mostly has to do with like crypto taking a dump, worldwide conflicts happening, still no MTL, still no MCP. Like I think those are bigger reasons rather than like, oh, we don't. Bots still played a big role, don't get me wrong, but it's more than just, that's one piece of the puzzle, not the entire picture. Nice, great nom flick, yes. Check out Dogs of War. I think I've seen that one. I've also seen, God, what the hell's the one with Mel Gibson? I forgot what that one's called. With Mel Gibson. Oh my God, it's like Soldier something. Forgot what it's. We Were Soldiers, I think. I think that was it. That's a pretty good one too. Bots stop people from undercutting. Not necessarily. People just undercut the bots. Necessarily. I think bots just stop people from even listing anything because they didn't win the drop. So bots dictated the pricing. But it turns out that people in the community are much more willing to take massive losses and just go from there. I had to be dragged to see Hunt for Red October 2. Pretty good movie. Okay. Chris Walken, Dogs of War. I haven't seen Dogs of War. Classic, yes. I haven't seen Dogs of War since the early 80s. Okay. I got access to web platform right after the Thor drop. Bought 8 total Thors, 7 uncommon and 1 rare. I think I got access to the web because they felt bad. I don't know how they do it. It could be algorithmically set up or whatever. I have no idea how they released out the web platform access, but I can tell you what, just looking at it, I have tons of feedback that I think would be helpful to them. You think I'll be able to get a Todd and a Steamboat Willie for 3.3K once Star Wars starts getting announced? It entirely depends on how big the Star Wars NFTs are. I think at the very least, we're going to get Obi-Wan because of the show. But if we start getting multiple FAs of significant characters, yeah, the prices could dip a lot. Steamboat could hit 800 and Todd could go 1500. So maybe not 1500. What am I saying? Like 2000. Like, yeah, Todd could go back down to like 2000 or 2500, and Steamboat could go to like 900. I think it's doable. It's definitely possible. And honestly, me, again, not financial advice, but what I've seen is based on how the pricing gets sussed out of, like, let's say we literally had a blind box drop and like nothing is going to crash the like app harder than, all right, we're gonna have a blind box drop with Vader and Luke and Obi-Wan and Han, Chewbacca, Leia, like just like all the big hitting FA characters like in one blind box drop. Like that would absolutely take a giant dump on the market. I think across the board everything drops between 30 to 60%, like across the board, if that happens, and depending on the mint numbers too. Like a lot of the high tier grails or the very blue chip NFTs will drop probably like 30%. Everything else is going to be 50% plus, probably. Who knows? Obi to NFT will only work if OMI is around a penny. That is true. Hopefully by the end of the year too, we'll have like hopefully 2 more exchanges before the end of the year. But we also you could also exchange it right from ETH to OMI. So if ETH whales are willing to exchange their ETH to OMI, they could do that. Deer Hunter is a classic movie. Deer Hunter arcade game is goated. Okay, fine. Don't know. We Were Soldiers. Yeah, I remember that one with Mel Gibson. I meant bots stop people from undercutting because people couldn't get the drops. Oh, okay, that's what you meant. So we were thinking the same thing. At the end, I was like, I think bots just didn't even give people an option. So yeah. Glad bots are gone. Don't care about secondary prices. I want to snag this stuff on drop. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of how my mind is working right now. As well, it's like before when we had bots, you could get stuff for cheap. Now that bots are gone, you could play the drop and still get stuff for cheaper. So I think it's just a win-win. Now that we got rid of bots, you have a chance to get the drop if you want to play it, and you could just buy it even cheaper than it probably would ever be with bots, in my opinion. So I did want to show one thing really quick because I do want to hop off here, guys. I mainly wanted to talk about just the Deadpool drop, which I've already done. If you haven't seen it, you can just rewind the live stream. But I did want to talk about if you guys haven't seen my tier list video talking about like the collectibles and stuff, I am making a new tier list. It'll probably come out in the next couple days or so, but this is, sorry for the really, really bright light here. Show you guys. This is Boodle NFT's tier list. And I'm gonna do the same tier list thing that I've always done, except I'm probably just, and I got his permission, I'm probably just gonna take snapshots or crop the comics themselves and put it to a comic tier list. The tier list is going to be limited to just FA appearances of characters. I'm not going to do any storyline stuff because it's like, I really don't want to put every comic of the Kraven series or every comic of the Death of Captain America. I don't think that's really that important. But I will put all the comics that have FA characters, and I'll put it in a tier list. And it has all the relevant information, if we look at Kang, it shows you Kang has 10,000 mints, 250 are the secret rare, and the most recent CGC sold listing is 70,000. So you get all the relevant information that you want based on that. So I'll probably be making this soon. I will give 110% credit to Boodle NFT because he has all the information I was going to do, but he's just going to save me so much more time. Because originally I was going to do the same thing. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna grab a picture from Google of the Marvel comic and then physically type in, put it in Photoshop, type in 660,000 mints. Who's the first appearance of each comic? That would have taken me hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, especially if I'm doing probably 80, 60, 70 comics with all of that. So he's already done it for me. So I'm just gonna just kind of copy and paste his stuff. I got his permission, but I will be giving him credit for it. So that's gonna be fun. Because it seems like a lot of people really wanted to see a tier list video, but with just comics. Whether you want to grade it by the common comic or by the secret rare, I think it's up to the person themselves, but we'll go from there. Thanks for the live stream. Have a great weekend and good luck on the drop Sunday. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate it. Do you believe David Yu is onto something by being very bullish on rare and ultra rare comics? Veve exclusive stuff is going to be huge in the future. Why I believe Todd is something special by being the first. I think so too. Both of those are very important. Me personally, probably just because it's the only ones I can afford, I like ultra rare more than secret rare comics. Now, secret rare comics have the highest potential to go up in price, but I feel like ultra rare is the perfect balance of, it's still rare enough to fetch they're rare enough, like mint wise, to fetch a good premium, because there's not very many. Usually there's only 1,000. They're VV exclusive covers, and on top of that, it's still like cheap enough. Like it's high enough to where it's like you're gonna get good profit, but it's still cheap enough where like a good portion of VV users can actually afford an ultra rare versus a secret rare. Because a lot of time it's like, oh, the secret rare is $6 grand, but the ultra rare is like 800, which is infinitely more affordable than the secret rare. So there's been a lot of times where I actually see less listings for the ultra rare than the secret rare, because a lot of people just can't afford the secret rare. So that's just been my take. Yeah, thanks for that tier list you made. I liked the one you did with the other day. Comic one would be great. What's up, guys? I'm with the whole set. Yes, sir. Think there will be set utility for VV logo? I think so. We'll see. I think it sounds like VV's probably going to hold off on that till next month, or maybe later. Who knows when they're actually going to test it. But I do think the VV logo, a lot of people are underestimating it because of Star Wars. But because Star Wars is happening, people are just like, oh, who cares? But like once Star Wars is over, then people are going to get hyped about VV logo. So we'll see. They said it was going to be 4 collectibles, you know, white V, white E, blue V, blue E. And I know Dan said it as kind of an offhanded comment, but he's like, well, yeah, hopefully you collect them all. So there could be utility. It's the very first VV individual IP drop. And VV can do whatever they want utility wise. They can literally do whatever they want. They could say, oh, if you have the VV logo, it gives you double MCP for just that set, not all of your sets, because that'd be insane. Maybe just for that set. Or maybe when you have all the letters together, they light up in your showroom, or whatever it is. They could literally do whatever they want with the VV logo. I don't think they'll go too crazy for it, because I don't think they want to alienate a ton of people. I do think the mints are going to be relatively high, but we'll see what happens. So cool, guys. I appreciate you guys stopping by. I might stream again later today. Unlikely. I do have a lot of other individual responsibilities I need to tend to, but I really wanted to kind of throw together a live stream really quick and talk about the Deadpool drop as well as some other things. So yeah, awesome. Thank you guys so much for showing up. Please take care. Double and triple check all of your listings so you don't screw